Hi there, YouTubers. Let's talk about let's talk about groups and stuff. Like, why do people gravitate towards groups, or seem to have to be in a clique? Why can't they be just themselves and be in their own mindset? I guess. So I don't know. What I've learned in life is that even since you're a little kid, you tend to want to hang around with people that like the same things you like, that do the same things you do, and so on, right? Which is okay. I mean, if you like chess and you join the chess club, that's cool. But then you let the chess club go, and then you move on. And you don't spend your every minute of your life dealing with that chess club. So it has a place in your life, but it doesn't become your life. I guess what's worrisome is when little groups or cliques or whatever you want to call them, they become their life. And when it becomes your life, I think, then that becomes a problem. Give you an idea. So let's say you're in grade school or whatever, you're just hanging out with some friends, and they're just good friends, and they seem to be only there when you go to school. And then you start to hang around with them when you're not in school. So now that time with your friends grows bigger, and it starts to consume more of your life. So more of the ideas that you have around these friends, you start to grow up with agreements together, and you start to see the world the same. And for the most part, if you never grow apart, i.e. get married or move or whatever, you'd probably stick with these friends for a long time. And that's okay. I got no problem with that. Everybody needs good friends and stuff like that. It's when it's it's used to hurt other people. So I don't know, your friend doesn't like a certain race of people or doesn't like this certain person, and then suddenly that friend is asking you to not like that person because they don't like that person. And you're saying, well, that person's never done anything to me. I don't mind them, so what's your problem, right? So that's where it can become a problem. Also, I found that um, in some of the jobs I've had, there are always like cliques. There's always groups. So in one job that I had, I stumbled upon by accident an email that the French people at that job were getting together all the time. I think every second Sunday or something, they would meet at somebody's house, pre-designated home, and they would have like some sort of meeting or get together. And when I asked if why aren't English people invited, they said, well, because you're English. So I thought that was just wrong, because if English people had meetings and stuff and never invited the French and they found out, I don't think that these guys would have let that go. So, I mean, maybe they would have, maybe they wouldn't have, I don't know. So I'm just saying, it doesn't feel good to be left out, and it doesn't, uh, I mean, it made me feel like there was something wrong. Like, what have I done, right? So, and, you know, then there's other cliques, that people develop with, let's say, bosses, and then they're all in a group together, and you know that you're not in that group, so you're not going to be a part of their um, time they do things together, like, I don't know, skiing or skidooing or barbecues or whatever. So it's everything is up to you. If you want to choose to join these things, let's say for self profit, or maybe I'll get your promotion or whatever. I mean, that's up to you. Um, I go with my heart, and my heart was saying no. you don't want to do this. I'll give you an example. Is this guy retired from a place I was working. He was pretty high up. He was a high up manager, and um, once a month on Saturday morning, like at 5 in the morning, like who would think of that? 5 in the morning, they would meet at a restaurant, and he would essentially still be running things from behind, from outside of the company. I think I only went like 3 times until I realized what this was doing, right? And then I just stopped. Like they still sent me invites, and I stopped going, and then the invites stopped. So obviously, I was not part of their clique. I wasn't part of their group, and I think the people that encourage that are just as much to blame. I mean, really, I think it's just way better to be like to have friends and everything, but don't be drawn into these groups and you know, I don't know, just doesn't feel right to me, right? It just feels like it's the wrong thing to do. So I'd stay away from all that. I just try and do what I think is right for me, and then I don't have people influencing what I think or what I should think, or doing something, making me do something that I know later I'm not going to be happy I did. So I think, like that's just advice. Do what you like, but for me, it was not doing whatever the group does. Doing what you want to do, and if other people want to come in and do it, that's fine. For example, when I was in the military and the guys were ready to go, we were in the field, in tents and everything, and we were ready to go into town. And usually that means a big drunk or whatever to some of these guys. And we're in a mess tent, and I stood up and I said, just wondering, like if I'm married, so if anybody out there is also married or have girlfriends or whatever, and you don't want anything to happen, you don't want to feel bad, and you just want to go out there and explore and have fun without any pressure to do anything, geez, we can all get together and take a vehicle and go into town ourselves as our own group. And wow, I was surprised at all the guys that wanted to do that. Like they didn't want to get drunk, and they didn't. We just wanted to go to a restaurant, have a nice meal, maybe explore, and it was really surprising how many people wanted to do that. And after that, we were done. Like we didn't become best buds and hang out and form a clique and everything else. So I'm just saying, um, there's time you can do things, and just ask people, and I'm sure they will. But when you start doing everything in secret, I think as soon as it's a secret, it's not resonating positively. It's just I have never found anything in life where it's a secret and it's a good thing. Usually secrets usually come out to be bad, or a lie, or something. Granted, you're going to hold your wife a secret anniversary party or something, that's different. But I'm talking about just anything secret. So if they tell you, we meet every once Saturday a month, and don't tell anybody. I mean, that you can just right there feel like this is not going to be a good thing. So anyway, learning with Lou, that's what I've learned. Let me know what you think. Enjoy my channel. Bye.